What's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about whether or not the stock market is about to pull back. If we take a look at the market over the past couple weeks, it has literally been exploding. The SPY is sitting at $435 right now. It's like breaking new all-time highs every single day. The QQQ is popping too, sitting right around $361. And I have a feeling that a lot of retail traders are looking at stocks like Apple right now, and they're like, all right, if it could go from 125 up to 145, what's stopping it from going from 145 to 165? And the problem with that is, while tech stocks have a ton of momentum right now, and while a lot of them are powerhouses, we are seeing implied volatility rise, and it's just not a good time to be buying in my opinion. I talked about this a little bit more in depth in yesterday's video, but if we specifically look at NVIDIA stock, they're an amazing company. I love them for the long term, but they are definitely overbought. And I think that a lot of other tech stocks like Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon are in pretty similar setups. Specifically for NVIDIA, they have their stock split within the next couple weeks. And back what happened in 2020 with Apple and Tesla, they didn't explode, but they really ran up in anticipation of their stock splits. For example, we can see with Apple back in 2020, went from like 95 all the way up to 135 before their split, and then they tanked off. Tesla had a very similar setup, ran up before it split and tanked off. And when they tanked off, it's not like only Apple and Tesla tanked off, but the market did too. And we're just seeing a similar setup with the combination of NVIDIA's stock split run up and then just tech stocks being very overbought. It's very hard to see, a huge company like Amazon, right? They are a massive company, and for them to go to from 3,200 all the way up to over 3,700 in like a month, that is a crazy move. And if you look back throughout history, anytime we've seen giant moves like this, there has almost always been a pretty nice size pullback right after it. Even if we look over the past year, anytime Amazon has a huge run up, they have a nice size pullback after it, like the one from September, which is when Tesla and Apple had their stock split. It definitely affected Amazon and the market overall. Again in October, you can say. Again in right here, what is that, April 30th. So just keep in mind, guys, there's a lot of stocks that are elevated right now, but I specifically want to point out another metric that I've been looking at. A couple weeks ago, I made a video titled The $4.5 billion Trade. Basically, some giant institution put a ton of money into SPX call options, around $4.5 billion to be exact. And I estimate they are up over $500 million on their position, and they are still holding. So that definitely, it's, I'm not like panicking saying, oh, the market's going to crash or anything like that. But it's definitely notable to point out how the smart money timed this market pretty much perfectly. They were buying in on, June 17th and 18th. And ever since, the market has been exploding. If we look at June 17th and 18th, they literally were buying in basically at the bottom. They loaded up on their call options right here. And as you know, it exploded ever since. So, I'm not one to be buying puts on the market right now. But this video is more of a warning, especially for retail traders, just to understand the current risk-reward setup, because NVIDIA, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, the companies are amazing for the long term, and even for the short term, they have a lot of momentum. But in my opinion, it is not worth the risk to play these stocks to the upside right now. And like, for example, let's say you wanted to play Apple to the upside and you wanted to buy any meaningful call option, like not like a weekly or something like that, like at least an option that has a little bit of time. Let's say we went out to like the 150 strike calls for August 20th, like these calls like already exploded. Like, you're buying at the highs. Like over the past month, they went from like $80 all the way up to $330. And what the problem is now is retail traders are seeing these run-ups, and I have a feeling a lot of them feel like the market can definitely continue up, which it can, but in my opinion, it's not worth the risk, because not only are you buying when the stock already had its crazy run-up, but options premiums are also getting bid up. So not only, like I said, you have to buy this when the stock's at the top, but you're buying for overpriced options. Like, for example, on this 150 strike call for Apple, your break-even price is over $153 for like 43 days worth of time or 40 days worth of time, and that's ridiculous. That you need the stock above 153 by August 20th. It's possible, but in my opinion, it's not worth the risk. So with that being said, and all of the data points I gave in this video, the main takeaway is that I don't think it's worth the risk to be playing like swing trade call options on some of these stocks that are just crazy overbought, like Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, Microsoft, and Facebook. Instead, I think it could be a really good setup for call credit spreads on Apple, Amazon, and Nvidia. Their options premiums are pretty high right now, and they're really, it's not that you're betting against the stock, it's just you're betting that the stock won't keep exploding. And especially when options are pretty expensive, it can definitely be a pretty nice trade setup. So it's definitely that's definitely like a setup I have on my watch list going into next week, specifically Nvidia and Amazon, maybe Apple, but I'm really looking at call credit spreads for these ones. They probably expire in like anywhere from like 1 to 3 weeks. So definitely keep that in mind. Another thing I wanted to talk about is, I know I talked about this more in depth in yesterday's video, but when we see these stocks pull back, it's not that just everything in the entire market's going to crash. Now keep in mind, these stocks are huge companies and they will impact the SPY, the QQQ, and other indices. However, that does not mean that everything in the market is going to crash. If we look back on, let's say, Apple's chart, we really saw a rotation out of tech stocks and into value stocks. I would say probably since like February or so. A lot of tech stocks just consolidated for months until the rotation back into tech started in like the beginning of June or so. So when these tech stocks start to pull back, it's not like everything's going to crash. There will definitely be opportunities in other aspects of the market. I gave specific setups in yesterday's video, but some that I really like, again, are like Disney, GE, Baidu, Penn. We can see all these stocks are, trading at a big discount right now. And I really just want to highlight these because no one's talking about these on YouTube right now. Everyone's always talking about, Amazon breaking their all-time high or Apple just exploding. And, where all the videos are made on, like, for example, when everyone's making videos about Apple, people forget about the other stocks like Penn that are off 50% from their all-time highs, and a lot of retail traders get screwed over because they're buying these stocks not only when the stock's at their all-time high, but also when the options prices are elevated. So I really want everyone to check out, just check out these setups. Penn, it's like 50% off from its all-time high. Baidu's trading pretty low too. Disney, it's not 50% off from its all-time high, but it's pulling back a decent amount. So those are some of the ones I like. If there's any other stocks that you guys are watching for a potential rotation, definitely let me know in the comments down below. It's not that it's only, Disney, GE, Penn, and Baidu. There's a lot of stocks out there. Those are just some that I like for the next couple weeks or even like the next month or so. Keep in mind, rotations are gradual and they're slow. Like they're slow. So it's not like the market's gonna open on Monday and then all of a sudden every single tech stock is tanking and now it's time to load up on value stocks. It'll be a slow process because ultimately it'll just be a lot of funds just selling out of their overbought tech stocks and then transitioning into oversold value stocks. So I hope today's video helped you. If it did, I would really, really appreciate it if you could hit that like button. And then if you guys aren't in the Stocked Up Discord already, it'll be the link in the comments down below. It's completely free and you could join over 13,000 other traders. But other than that, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend.